Dope man, dope man. Dope man, dope man. What up? How y'all doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Some of y'all might be like, listen, man. Why George got listen, man? I'm the dope man today, okay? I am your official pusher. I got you. I got you. I'm your corner man. Whatever you need, I can get that for you. Okay? Y'all talking about my plate, my choice. I'm talking about I got what you need. Trust me. I got what you need, right? So let's say it's a what I say? Dope man, dope man. The dope man, dope man. Yeah. I'm your pusher, man. I got you. I promise you what you need. What you need. I ain't on my plate, my choice. What you need. What you need. Got that work for you. Yeah. I got that work for you. I got what you need. Come on. Oh, that ain't. Hold on. I got that work for you. Come on, holler at me. I got what you like. I got what you like. Yeah, I got you. Oh, that ain't tickle your fancy. I know I got all. See, a good dope man makes sure that he can supply all of his clientele, correct? So I'm going to make sure, even for my more seasoned people, I got what you need. I got what you need. Yeah, I got you. Come on. I'm your official pusher. I got you. Whatever it is that tickles your fancy, I got you. All right? We ain't got to act like we don't know. Let's be upfront about it. Right? Let's be upfront about it. Right? Because at the end of the day, we frown upon those who have addictions in the street, but nobody wants to talk about the addictions we have in the kitchen. Yeah. Nobody want to talk about nobody wants to talk about these addictions right here. Because these are the real addictions. And guess what? I'm officially your pusher. I got you. I know some folk that can't. This is like, come on. What are we talking about? I got you. Officially. Whatever it is that you say you need, I'm going to deal it to you. You don't have to keep going to the store. I got you right here. Because in all actuality, that's the real problem that we face, correct? In all actuality, that's the battle that we keep fighting, correct? In all actuality, that's the thing that we continue to struggle with. That's the thing that we keep fighting. That's the thing, right? In all actuality, that's the battle that we continue to fight. Is that we can't let this go. We can't stop doing this. And you say you want a healthy body. How? How? And you say you want to do right. How? Right? So here's what we got to talk about today. This thing called discipline and your ability to be able to say no. See, like, these won't bother me. I can let these. Now, I'm going to tell you a funny story real quick. So I went into the gas station this morning to get these things, right? So I dropped Jordan off for school, and I slide by the gas station and pick this stuff up. And the guy looks at me, and he was like, he doesn't even know me. I don't go in the gas station for anything. I pay for my gas outside. When I go in, I don't even go to that gas station to get gas. And so guy was like, he said, man, listen, can I ask you a question? I'm not trying to get in your business. I said, yeah, cool. What's up? He said, are you about to eat this? And I said, no, that's not for me. I said, I got a podcast that I do. And he said, because I looked at you and I knew that this didn't go with what I saw. And if it did, I was going to ask you to tell me how. No, bro. No, like this type of stuff can be in my house. There was a time these honey buns, when I was a kid, these right here, right? So there was a time where these types of things would have me in a chokehold, but maturity gets to the place of knowing these things they don't align with where I'm going. They don't align with what I'm doing. They don't align with the outcome that I desire to see in my body, right? But let me say this to you, and this is like the most honest I can be before I get into it. And I'm gonna give you guys a recipe per our usual, so just hold tight. But I wanted to get a couple notes out for you first, right? So your biggest problem is not your inability to. It's not your lack of discipline. Like, that's not your biggest problem. Well, I mean, it is, but in a different way, right? So let's go here, right? So the problem here, okay, so I got all these things, right? Now, is it wrong to have these? Is it going to kill you to have these? No, right? But here's our biggest problem is that the very first message that I did like a year ago on these things was reading the nutrition label, right? And understanding that if I need something, it's okay for me to have like one serving. Like this right here says a serving of chips, again, in moderation, right? In moderation. So you got to understand, what is a serving of these chips in moderation? Well, a serving of these chips in moderation is 15 chips. Did y'all hear what I said? A serving of these in moderation is 15 chips. A serving again of these chips is 17 chips. Can I ask you guys a question? When is the last time you counted out your chips? Do you, listen, do you count out your chips? No, because when is our serving over? When the bag is empty. That's the problem. That's the problem. See, every now and then, yeah, you could do, all right, man, I just really had a craving for some chips. So today I'm going to have some chips. I'm going to eat 15 chips. But I'm going to tell y'all, because I always talk really, and I'm really transparent with you guys. So you're talking to a reformed fat kid. The fat kid still tries to exist in here. I have to fight him daily, right? And so here's what I would do. Like, I would eat the chips, and like I would say, all right, I'm going to count these joints out, right? I'm going to count them out. And then, but there's this thing like all chips are not created equal. So like if I get a small chip, that doesn't count as a whole chip. I got to eat like 3 small ones to make one whole one, right? And then if I get a whole one that's broken, I got to try to find the other half. And that's what I'm saying. You play this game of semantics with yourself to continue in this space right here. And so moderation now goes out the window. Moderation is no longer your friend because you've proven that you can't do moderation. I can't just say, all right, so for instance, and I love this cookies and cream Hershey's. Like it, to me, I'm not a chocolate fan. Like I'm a gummies fan, right? So like gummy bears, gummy worms, the Welch's fruit snacks, not the blue pack and not the red pack, only the, it's like a turquoise blue, kind of greenish kind of pack. See, listen, I'm very specific. I like what I like, right? And so, but this right here, best chocolate, hands down. I don't care where you are. And I don't care what you say, it's the best. But so here's a serving size for this. It says a serving size is 1 bar, the whole bar. Now that whole bar is 220 calories and 21 grams of sugar. For me, moderation says I'm not going to eat the whole bar. I may just say, because you know how Hershey's come, right, with the little squares, correct? Right, like this, right? So I would say, okay, I'm not going to eat the whole bar. Now, this is half of the bar. This is half of the bar. Let me just help you guys real quick, all right? Just bear with me for a second. I got you, all right? So half of the bar, half of the bar. So for me, moderation would say I'm not even going to eat half. I'm just going to eat this part and this part only. I'm going to leave the rest of this to be revisited another day. That is learning moderation. That is learning balance. That is understanding that I don't have to just completely deprive myself of all the things that I enjoy. I can enjoy them in moderation, but the question becomes, do you understand what moderation means? Moderation is not the whole bag. And I just ate the whole bag today. The whole bag is 390 calories. That's 400 calories, basically. I promise you, I could eat 2 meals for 400 calories. That's not moderation, right? That's not moderation. If you get a big bag, a family-sized bag of chips, and you say, okay, I'm going to eat them in moderation every single night for the entire week, and by the time you get to Wednesday or Thursday and you started on Monday, the family-sized bag is gone, my friend, that is not moderation. That's not moderation, right? It's not moderation. I saw the movie Sinners this weekend, right? Great movie. I recommend go see it. They had some great comparisons between like if you're a believer and you understand God and sin and what sinning does. Like it's great. I don't want to disclose a lot, but it's a great movie. But anyway, so there are parts where it's seven, each one of the main characters represents one of the sins, and they're highlighted for you, right? And so one of the main characters had this sin that he could not let go. It changed his life. He really couldn't let it go. It ends the movie with him like basically holding on to this what led this thing that led him down into sin. He could not let it go. No matter how much it destroyed his life, he saw that like, I can't let it go. I'm addicted to it, right? And I am saying to you today, like, this is the same variation of that, because we hold these things near and dear to our hearts. We can't let these go. No, I can't live without these things. Why? Like, why can't you live without it? Because it's not helping you get where you need to go. It's never going to help you, right? It's never going to help you. I talked to you all a couple of weeks ago about signs, right? And understanding that when your body is giving you certain signs, you've got to start to listen to it. If my body, I was talking to another trainer over the weekend, and she was telling me how, one of the things she constantly tells her clients is that you can change so much about your body just in how you eat. And I said, man, I do a podcast like every other week, and that is the same message I preach, that you can change so much about your body and your overall health just by what you're putting in your body. Filling up your body with sugar, you got one of these every day or 3 to 4 times a week, that is not it. That's not going to help you. Like, that's going to continue to hinder you. You running through a whole bag of M&Ms daily, that's a hindrance. That is a chain that you got to break, right? So let's get to it, though. So we say today, all right, you say, George, my whole goal is to help you guys understand that you can still have things that you enjoy. You just have them a different way, right? There's a way to do it. So for those of you that like burgers, I got you. Today is your show. Today is your show. I'm going to show you guys something. Now, when I make anything that's like closely resembles a burger, I'm going to use ground turkey. You can use ground beef. I use ground turkey. Why do I use ground turkey? I will tell you. So everybody pretty much knows this at this point, but my dad had like a 2-year bout with prostate cancer, right? And so one of the things he shared with me, he said, son, they told him that red meat is a heavy contributing factor to prostate cancer. So he said, okay, cool. Am I going to share some good things? Yeah, I got you, okay. So he said, son, they said that red meat is a heavy contributing factor to prostate cancer. Listen to me. As much as I love burgers, from that day on, I have not had a burger. My life is more valuable than a burger. My life is more valuable than the temporary fix of getting a burger. My life is more valuable than that. So now I pose the question to you. Is your life more valuable than those chips that you keep tucked beside the bed? Or is your life more valuable than those candy bars that you keep tucked in your office drawer at work? Is your life more valuable than the snacks that you hide from people, but they aren't hidden from you? Is your life more valuable than these things? The answer has to be yes, but your action dictates no. See, you easily wanted to say out of your mouth, yes, my life is more valuable than those snacks. But every time you reach and you can't say no to them, that's saying no. Every time you digging in that bag until it's nothing left to pull out that bag and you running to get another bag, you're saying no. Okay, you don't want to talk. So listen, here we go. I'm going to show you guys how to make what I call a burger bowl. I'm going to show you guys how to make this sauce. I'm going to tell you how to make it because I really kind of made everything up pre-show because I want to be able to talk to you guys today. And I notice when I talk and cook, sometimes I get more focused on cooking and answering your questions on cooking, right? So listen, so here we go. Now, you can make this with rice or you can make it with potatoes. I chose to make it with potatoes because what comes with a burger when you go get it? French fries. What are French fries? Potatoes. So I'm just going to naturally give myself the meal that closely resembles on a healthy side what I would want on a negative side, right? I'm going to go as close as I can, but make sure I'm still giving myself all the positive factors and features that I need. Got it? Okay, so listen. So you're going to start with your base bowl. You have absolutely nothing here. Base bowl, right? And like I said, you can do this with rice or you can do this with potatoes. I'm going to use potatoes, and I'm going to show you guys kind of my process. You know, when I tell you guys I weigh everything out, I absolutely weigh everything out. So I'm going to zero out the scale. I typically like to go with about 85 grams of potatoes when I'm doing potatoes, just because I kind of know the metrics on that when I put it in the app. So we're at 77. Now, mind you, this is, all right, so 87. I'm going to leave it right there, 88. Okay, so like this is the equivalent of what? A small fry, medium fry probably, right? A medium fry. How did I cook those in the air fryer? I didn't deep fry these. I didn't deep fry these at all. These were made in the air fryer. And one thing I love to do, I love to take my potato, and I've showed y'all this before, cut it in my thin slices so that I feel like I'm getting French fries. I'm not going to keep going to McDonald's and Chick-fil-A and allowing that to destroy my body when I can just do it in the kitchen and make sure that I'm preserving my body, right? Okay, so boom. So I'm going to double up now. So this is bowl number 2. Because you remember I talked to you all about the benefit of prepping and making sure that you put yourself in a position to be successful. Why go in the kitchen and spend 30 minutes in the kitchen to make something that you can only have one time? Why not go in the kitchen and make something and set yourself up so that your next couple of meals are already squared away? Why would you not? It's called planning ahead, right? Okay, so here we go. Boom, bowl number 3. Now, mind you, I'm going to tell you, this was, where am I at? 81, 85. Boom. All right, so this was 3 potatoes. This is 3. Yeah, this is 3 potatoes that I cut up. They weren't very large potatoes. This was 3 potatoes that I cut up. All right, so boom. So now I'm 85 grams on all 3, and I'll let you see what that. Can y'all see? Let me turn it on so you guys can see a little better. All right, bet. Perfect. All right, so now I'm 85 grams of potatoes in every bowl, right? Evenly distributed, right? So now, what did I do? I got some ground turkey from when I had some ground turkey, like, I don't know, I forgot what I made it for, but I had some ground turkey in the freezer. Literally got 2 of them. And so I said, oh, okay, let's make a burger bowl. Now, I'm going to show you seasonings that I love to use. This one right here, this Kinder's Butcher's Burger Blend is amazing, right? But when you do your ground beef or ground turkey, season it like you would do if you're about to throw your burger on the grill. Don't do it differently because you're doing it in the house. Season it the same way you would do it on the grill, because you want to closely mimic the burger, right? You want to closely mimic those things. Like, you want to trick your brain. That's really what it's about. It's about tricking your brain so that when you eat it, your brain feels like it's getting the sensation of McDonald's or the sensation of Wendy's or Nasty Sonic, if you like Sonic, or Dairy Queen, or wherever you get your burgers from. Like, you're tricking your mind to feel like I'm getting that same sensation, right? So boom. All right, so I'm going to go with, let's weigh out. I typically like to go with about 100 grams of the meat that I use. Zero that out. That's 52, 78, 99, 100. All right, 100 on the head. Boom. So that's 100 in that one. Boom. Here we go. Can y'all see that? Yeah. Okay, you can. All right, so boom. Same thing. I'm measuring it out. And the reason why I do this way is because I know exactly what I'm getting later in the week. I'm not playing a guessing game like, well, dang, how much is in this one and how much is in that one? I'm going to make everything the exact same way. As a woman, would you still suggest portions as large as you do for your service? No. All right. So as a woman, no, I would not. The question, I don't know if everybody can see the questions, but she said, as a woman, would I suggest the same portion sizes for her? No, I wouldn't. My portion sizes are based on my daily intake. Now, you got to think about it. I'm in the gym 6 days a week. Well, really 7, because even the 7th day, which is my rest day, I do active recovery. But I'm in the gym 7 days a week. Not only do I lift weights, I also do 40 minutes of cardio every day. Faithfully, I do 40 minutes of cardio. So my caloric burn is going to be much higher than the average person that's on this chat. So if you're not using a tracker to do it, I would probably stay with smaller portion sizes for sure. So instead of using the 85 grams of the potatoes, I probably would have gone around 30 to 35, maybe 40. With your protein is good for your body. So you want to think about it like this. Your daily intake of protein is 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, right? So if you weigh 150 pounds, ideally you want to consume 150 pounds of protein. So like I would still stick with the same size portion size that's for the protein side. And I'm gonna tell you, as of just from male to female, I have several clients that I meal prep for, and they'll be like, hey man, we need more food. So see, I give them portions like what I would eat. But, and I mean, this is male and female, but definitely females are more, hey, I need more food, right? Because you're eating, we have gotten into this space of not really understanding how to consume a serving size. So we always overconsume. So we think that we're supposed to eat until we're full. That's not how that goes. You eat a filling meal, right? But you don't have to eat until you're full, because if every meal you eat till you're full, every meal you stuff yourself, you're going to constantly be in the surplus. What does a surplus mean? You're gaining weight. You're gaining weight. You have to learn how to curb your body's appetite and start to bring your body down to normal levels. I don't have to eat everything in front of me, right? All right, so cool. Hopefully I answered that question. All right, let's get this last one. Go here. That's 56, 57, 75. Where are we? 78, 80, 106, 104, 102. And you don't have to be as meticulous as I am. I promise you, you don't have to be. All right, cool. So 3 burger bowls. Boom. Now, I've tracked the most important ingredients. Now, again, I pre-cooked a lot of this so to make it easier, so I could just kind of fly through it and talking to you all. So with the potatoes, I did them in oil, and I cut them up, did them in oil, seasoned them. I seasoned my potatoes, another Kinder's right here, this buttery garlic and herb. I love that. I'll also season my potatoes in the ranch season, like the packet, but I actually have the container, and I'll do that on there. Throw it in the air fryer on 400 for about 20 minutes, and your potatoes should be done. If you didn't cut them super thick. Now, if you cut them super thick, you'll need to check them and, kind of go in and do some additions to it. All right, so cool. We all know what goes next on a burger, right? You got to have onions. What did I do? I sauteed some onions. Drop my onions on there. Boom, 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 right? I don't have to track onions because they're not the metrics of it is not really going to matter much in the grand scheme of things. So boom. Now, I apologize. Y'all please forgive me because I completely forgot to get lettuce. I would have grabbed some, and lettuce would have been the next thing that I would have tossed in this equation. Lettuce would have been next on the list, and then I would have come with like my cheese, right? Which I'm gonna always go with the fat-free mozzarella. I've shown you guys the numbers on these. I mean cheddar. This is cheddar, but I'll go with cheddar or mozzarella, or I may do a mix of both. I'm not a heavy cheese person, but I know it works on a burger. It makes the burger go good. And you like, George, you need to put more cheese on there. No, I don't. And you need to stop using so much cheese too. Stop using so much cheese. Like, cheese is okay, but you ain't gotta overdo it. I keep telling y'all, less is more, right? So boom. Now, what goes next on a burger? What are we missing from the burger? Are we doing buns? No, not today. You don't have to have a bun. But guess what you do have to have? Some pickles, baby. You gotta have some pickles, right? Now, I want you to see how simple this process is. And is it as easy as pulling up at McDonald's? No, it's not. But is it much healthier than pulling up at McDonald's? Yes, it is. Can I eat this without feeling guilty? Yes, I can. Can I eat it every day? Yes, I can. Is there anything that's going to make me feel bad, feel fat, gain weight? No, it's not. And that's the name of the game. To satisfy ourselves by finding ways to get the same things that we like, without having it in a bad version. Like I like pickles on my burgers and joints. So, I probably use more pickles than the average person may use. Um, What'd you say? No bun, huh? No, ma'am, no, ma'am. Tomatoes, yeah. So you can throw tomatoes here on here if you want to. I'm not like the biggest fan of tomatoes. I'm just not. I'll eat them, but I'm just not the biggest fan. So like in the kitchen, now I would go with some roasted tomatoes. I'll do those or whatever. But so anyway, boom, the burger bowl is complete, right? No, it's not. Because guess what we gotta have? I don't know if y'all go to McDonald's, but if you go to McDonald's and you go get a Big Mac, you know McDonald's is gonna give you what? That Mac sauce. That Mac sauce. I don't want that Mac sauce. I made my own sauce. Yes, I made my own sauce. Yes, listen, because I want to control what goes in my body, right? So you say, all right, George, well, how do you make the Mac sauce? I'm gonna tell y'all because the recipe is so simple. It's so simple. I will show you every single ingredient that I used in this joint right here. All right. So first, and you want to get, if you have like a little blender cup or something, you want to combine these ingredients in the blender cup and then blend it up. And then I bought all my sauce containers because I make a lot of sauce. Like I make my dressings for my salads. I make my sauce for my chicken. Like if I'm doing an Alfredo, I make, like you guys know, I've shared that I make all the sauces. Like I make them. And you say like, well, how do you know how to make them? Bro, just go to YouTube University. And then you just remix it because sometimes they make it a way we don't necessarily like it. So I see what you did, and now I'm gonna make it my way, right? Sometimes you just need a model, and once you get the model, you're good to go. All right. So what was my base? G. Hughes sugar-free ketchup. G. Hughes sugar-free ketchup. Yes, that was the base. Boom. Then what was next? Light mayo. Now, did I go crazy with the light mayo? No, I only used a little light mayo in there. Boom. And then next, now. This is all in how much you want to put in there, your dill relish, but it really gives your sauce like that kind of that flavor, right? So for me, I use about two and a half spoons that I drop in there of the dill relish, right? Last but not least, mustard. I'm not a big mustard fan, but you need it for this sauce, right? So I'm gonna squeeze mustard in there. Squeeze it to your heart's content. Like you squeeze as much of it or as little bit of it as you want to, right? And then last but not least, you don't need pickles. Do not put pickles in there because you've already gone with your dill relish. All you need, here's a secret, is the juice. So you're going to open the lid, pour some of the pickle juice in a cup, and then pour that in there. All right. And now you have your Mac sauce. Let me ask you a question. Did anything I put in there sound bad? Nope. Did I put any sugar in there? Nope. So I'm not doing like the things that they do. Your basis, I want you, next time you go to the store and you go to the sauce aisle, I want you to just go through and just look at the sugar content in all the sauces. Like that's why sauces are so good to you because they put a lot of sugar in them. And we just naturally love sugar. But guess what? Your body doesn't. Not I want to say it's something like 70 or 80% of the problems that you like have internally with your body can be avoided just by keeping sugar out of your daily routine. Just keeping sugar out. Right? So boom, I got my Mac sauce. Now I'm about to eat one of these balls now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the sauce on it. Typically, I wouldn't put the sauce on it. I would put my sauce in the container with it. Y'all know I'm just real official. So like when I make my meal preps, I like to have all my sauces and everything like ready to go. So I do feel like I'm at the store. I'm at the restaurant. So I'm here with it. So boom, boom, and boom. Now, I put a lid on that. I am ready to go. That is now lunch for tomorrow or dinner. There's your burger bowl. Really and truly, I told you when you make the potatoes, that's 20 minutes in the air fryer. You don't have to do anything with it. If you don't have an air fryer, throw them in the oven. Same thing on 400. The oven may be a little more powerful, so you may want to check it. Bacon, is that too much? No. Now, when I make these, I can throw on a piece of bacon. If I had some, I would have done. Like I probably, for each bowl, I would take one strip of bacon and just break it up. One strip of bacon and break it up. Don't go do like 5 strips of bacon and then you're going to break up 5 strips of bacon over one bowl or 2 bowls. I'm going to do 1 strip of bacon per bowl. Remember, what is the name of the game? Moderation. Don't go crazy. I don't care how much you love bacon. You don't have to have 5 or 6, 7 slices of bacon on there, right? So yeah, bacon is fine. 1 piece per bowl. So boom, I'll go with something like that. That's my Mac bowl. I'm out of there. I am out of there. And as soon as I get off this camera, I'm killing this. You gotta understand it, right? But it's a simple recipe. A simple recipe and something you can do. So no, you don't have to go get a burger from the fast food restaurant. You can whip it up in the house and you don't have to feel bad for it. Guess what else? If I didn't feel like making the mac sauce, I would have used some barbecue sauce. Like, I'm a barbecue sauce fanatic. So I would have came with some barbecue sauce or a honey mustard. Like, you can remix this so many different ways. Got it? And just if you don't really like potatoes, I've also done this same bowl over rice. I would take the boiled rice, a cup of rice or a half a cup of rice, let that be my base layer and build everything on top. Lettuce, tomatoes, pickles, sauteed onions, bacon, ground turkey or ground beef, whatever you're doing, a little cheese, you out of there. You got everything you need, right? But listen, remember, that's good. But y'all don't forget, I'm the pusher. And I got what you need. And so if you need these, no, I'm playing. I ain't on them. I got what you need as far as the nutrition goes. I'm your pusher when it comes to this because I want you to live a healthy life. I want your body to function and produce the way God called it to produce. So yeah, I'm the dope man. Hey, the dope man. I got you. I'm pushing exactly what you need, and that's health. Got it? Hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I love it. I hope y'all have a phenomenal week and be blessed.